Hey guys, welcome back to yet another Python video. This time around, we're going to be revisiting strings. Yes, I know, strings again. But I just want to make sure that we have as well-rounded knowledge as we possibly can. And in this video, we're just going to dive just a little bit deeper into strings. Nothing too major, nothing too chaotic, but there's some additional things that you can do with strings that I think would be good to know. So let's go ahead and dive right in. Now, I'm going to try to make this video as quick as I can because I understand strings are not the most amazing Python element to learn about, but again, we just want to round out our knowledge. So just to recap, as you already know, we can do something in quotes like a print statement, for example. This is a string, and it's simply going to print that, and we know that that is a string, and we've also learned how to set something like this equal to a variable, so MSG equals. Then we got our variable, and we can simply print the string that we stored in a variable, and then we can do type against it to verify, yes, this is indeed a string. So that's all well and good. We know all of that. So when we want to dive a little bit deeper into a string, there's some additional things that we can actually do. Now I'm going to go ahead and give you a print statement that's going to be a bit different than what you've seen before. So print, and then we're going to go MSG, which is the variable that I already created. We're going to go ahead and in brackets put the number 3 and then end the parentheses right there. So what do you think is actually going to happen when I execute this command right here? I'll give you a few seconds to think about that because rationalizing Python and predicting it and understanding what the code does is very important. So I'll go ahead and press enter. And you can see that it went ahead and printed S. What is that exactly? So let's go ahead and print MSG. It says this is a string, and we asked for 3. Well, 3 of what exactly? Well, what we can deduce here, especially considering that we learned about lists, and lists start at 0, let's just see how that works. So 0, 1, 2, and then 3. I don't know if you can see my mouse cursor here, but we can see that the S is indeed the third character. We start counting at the number 0. So why did this actually work? So basically very similar to a list where we can print individual items from a list, we can actually do the same thing with a string as well. And here we grabbed the third item. So if I was to do 0, of course, you would get T, and 5, you would get that, and so on. So that's just to show you you can refer to an individual character within a string, much in the same way that you can refer to an individual item within a list. Now, another thing that we can actually do as well is we can actually print a range. So I'll go ahead and, for comparison, print this message again. And then what I'm going to do is print a range. So I'll go ahead and print, and then the name of the variable, and then a range of 1 through 5. Enter. And it just prints his. So it's basically just printing this part right here. So now you can see that we can refer to a range, but that's not all that we can do. We could actually go ahead and make it uppercase as well. So if we wanted to do that, we could do print MSG or whatever you named your variable. And then what we can do is add the upper method to it and then close out the parentheses right there. And you can see that even though we didn't type it all in caps, it's all in caps now. So if we were the type that likes to debate online and we want to basically change our debate to all caps because we're serious and we know we're right, we could simply add our entire response to the .upper if we had it in a string, and then everything would be made uppercase. So can we make it lowercase? So let's go ahead and change MSG to something else. I'll just make it equal to upper. So now we can print that and see it's equal to upper. And I can just do .lower. Let's see if that works. And it does. We were able to make it lowercase, even though this time we actually made it uppercase. And in addition to that, we can actually grab several variables and make them into one. So what I'm going to do is my string 1 equals this is space, then my string 2 equals Sparta, enter. And then I could do my string 3 equals my string 1 plus my string 2. And now if I print my string 3, as you probably expected, we get the entire message. So we can simply just create a variable that includes the contents from 2 other strings, which is what I've done here. So if we want to make this a little bit more dramatic, we could actually add a line break. How would we add a line break? So print, then we could say this is \n, and pretty much the same thing. Close out the parentheses and press enter. And even though we typed it all in one line, now that we've included a line break by adding in a \n, we were able to make the second word, or actually the third word here, appear on a different line. So those are just a few more examples of strings and print. I mean, nothing truly amazing here, but I just wanted you to understand that you could actually differentiate the output. You can convert it in much the same way as we converted one data type to another. You can convert uppercase to lowercase. You can refer to a range of characters within a string, a specific item within a string. You can add a line break within a string. There's all kinds of different things that you can do to data that you have stored in Python to change either the way that it's stored or just the way that it's printed on the screen. So there you go. Hope that was helpful for you guys. More Python videos coming soon. Stay tuned. Thank you so much for watching my video, guys. I really appreciate it. If you want to help me out, go ahead and check out my sponsor and my cloud server provider, Linode. Linode now features a new and improved dashboard, their cloud manager, that makes it an absolute breeze to set up your own Linux server. They even have Arch Linux. How cool is that? And of course, they have all the staples such as CentOS, Debian, Ubuntu, Fedora, and more. And it's very easy to set up a server near you. In fact, Linode currently has 9 worldwide data centers, with 2 more set to appear this year in India and Canada. So definitely check them out, guys. I appreciate them as a sponsor. I appreciate you guys as a viewer. So thanks again for watching. Subscribe to my channel. I will have more content coming for you very soon. Stay tuned.